A revolutionary. Say whoa. Trap revolutionary. Got the wave of too scary. Doing this thing like Malcolm ain't by any means necessary. We ain't got it by no one seen hand. We got the master plan. Get the move.
Hold on, y'all. I want to do this video real quick, man. Reporting again about the Nolan Wells situation. So, man, look here. Come to find out, all of this that has been going on, and the back and forth about Nolan Wells, what happened, and all of that. Man, it came out today, and this is really breaking news to me. But like I said, I'm always, staying aware, staying on top of the news about it. So come to find out, man, it's really about a situation with a young lady. He was with, where he was supposed to be hollering at Katie McCormick, sister Gracie. They say Gracie is her mom, but Grace is her sister that said, hey, no, Nolan went back on the boat. Katie's cooperating with everybody, her, the parents, everybody, right? Bart Edmiston is what's, the key, basically key piece of the key piece of this whole thing. Come to find out, him and Katie, were sweethearts, or used to be sweethearts, right? You know what I'm saying? So he goes out to school. He goes to play football for Wyoming. He's a punter. So I guess, of course, you know how it is, man. You know what I'm saying? You go out, you leave your girlfriend. Same thing with the young women. You go out to school, you leave your boyfriend that didn't leave or whatever. Maybe didn't leave to go off to college, and you leave and y'all doing y'all thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a different story. Y'all not together no more, basically, right? So come to find out, and he's trying to deny that he was back home in Mississippi July 4th. The phone call verified. It's a report. You know what I'm saying? They done verified. He's the one that called. Probably, I think it was like 10, in between 10 and 10:45. He called to report Nolan was missing. And it's a report saying his name is on it. That he's reported this, right? So for some, I don't, in there, it's basically there, I hate to say it, they're very, food like silly, like really don't, know how to cover their tracks. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to say it like that. I'm not trying to, because it's a tragedy that occurred, but their stories are not lining up, and that's a reason. They're not very intelligent. You know what I'm saying? Then come to find out, like I said, Jeanette Brantley ended up finding out. And shout out to everybody that been covering this story, man, and trying to get to the truth. And basically, we're doing the work of the investigators. And the reason being, though, is because we know the investigators, they're not going to do it because it's a situation where it's young white men, and it's a young black man that end up being killed. And they don't want the young white men to go down behind it because it's too many connections. Judge, you know what I'm saying, in the case. Ashley Cole or whatever, I believe Warren Hudson's mother, Bart Edmiston's dad, is a medical doctor. What is he? An anesthesiologist, a pain management doctor. So they're well connected. Basically, families of well-to-do families. The sheriff, DA, they don't want to see the young white men go down like that. You see what I'm saying? Coroner, same thing. Everybody covers up for everybody. So that's basically what's going on. But come to find out, like I said, it's a connection. It's because some jealousy that went down. Come to find, I put everything together. Bart and Katie had been, like I said, high school sweethearts or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so Bart caught feelings. And matter of fact, I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna show the picture saying that Katie was in sitting on Nolan's lap in the boat.
Nolan and Katie are on the boat. Katie is sitting right on Nolan's lap. There's 7 people on this boat. Ben Crump just released his photo an hour ago. When Warren called for a tow, he said there were 7 living souls on the boat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nolan having Katie on his lap in the middle of the picture circled. Y'all, this is why there's no witnesses, because these are the only people that actually know what happened. It doesn't matter how many people were on the island. None of them saw what happened to Nolan except these people. That's why the story is so airtight. And this is another reason why there's so much focus on the boat and why they won't let the K9s sniff it. And they're trying to stall and wait at least 30 days because head of the Cajun Navy said that the trail goes cold if the dog cannot smell it after 30 days, the blood and stuff. Also, the boat was taken to Warren's grandparents' house before they took it back inland. There's Katie on the boat. Katie is sitting on Nolan's lap. Notice how none of the other boys have girls. Jealousy? I think so. Katie is the only girl on the boat, and she's white, and she's sitting on the black boy's lap. Come on. You can't tell me they don't feel some kind of way about that, especially how they're all hugging Nolan like Nolan is their man or something. Like, get a life. This is what Katie was on the boat, y'all. We have a case. This has officially been cracked open. Bombshell tonight in my Nancy Grace voice. Nancy, get him.
And the fact that, like I said, Katie verified that, hey, no, Nolan went back. You know what I'm saying? His sister, with Gracie or whatever, same thing. She mentioned that Nolan went back. And the call, you know, said Jeanette Brantley, cracked that open. The call, and them saying, Bart, then say, oh, you messed up. Like, you killed him.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Shut up! Shut the fuck up!
You know what I'm saying? When you put it all together, it's like, oh, okay. This what it was behind. And that's why all of these different stories are coming, coming down to where they're like saying, like, okay, they're not lining up. The stores are not lining up. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it's crazy because I was like wondering, like, okay, man, why are these stories like not coming together? The same thing, the autopsy. The coroner's office kept the throat structure, which they said is normal, right? They kept the throat structures, because you can't make a final determination of death if certain elements of the body are missing. If you're trying to do a full autopsy, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So, and the brother Robert Mitchell Jr. that did the autopsy, and he was rightful in doing that, rightfully so, determining like, hey, I can't determine the cause of death, so because he didn't have everything that he needed to, do a full autopsy report and determine, the actual cause of death. So rightfully so, he made that determination, So it seems like the coroner's office, sheriff's department, judge, and others, are part of this, and it's so good. Like, we all coming together like, hey, man, people on the internet, and I applaud everybody, Willie D, Don Lemon, Jeanette Brantley. It's not other folk, you know what I'm saying, for exposing the story, man, because it's bringing to light. We're doing the work to make sure, say, man, the young brother get justice. Same thing with cause I was on it, like Nolan Wells story in here in Texas, Carmela Anthony. I'm on it because, you know what I'm saying, now I know about the system. Been in the system, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I know for a fact, you know what I'm saying, especially dealing with kids. Another kid cannot tell or has authority to tell another kid what to do, and that coach was wrong for telling Austin Metcalf to go take over the 10 and go, and he felt like he had authority to go tell Carmelo and boss another child around. You don't have that authority. But anyway, back to this point. I'm so glad that we all coming together. This showed us, actually, man, I hope whoever out there see this, this is showing us we have some power. Like, seriously, we have some power. You know what I'm saying? And connecting the dots, doing these stories. So don't think, yeah, just you know, you're not a large scale media outlet or whatever, you know, so we're from big to small. The Don Lemon and them, what Willie D, African Diaspora Channel, you know, people that's opening up the story, you know, and they got a bigger platform, but still people like me, you know, people like me or people like us that have smaller channels, don't think that what you're doing is not helping, you know what I'm saying? Because you may have a small viewership, you know. Still keep pushing, man, and bringing this stuff to light because this is helping. You know what I'm saying? Somebody can share it. Somebody can, you know, get this information and go share it with somebody else. And you never know. It may be somebody watch your channel and then go back and they may know somebody that can make a difference. You see what I'm saying? So, man, yeah, man, I'm so glad that we're all coming together and we're doing this. And this is showing us like we got power. You know, so yeah, I always keep putting in the work. I'm gonna say that to those people that are out there reporting on stories and creating, you know, following, you know, and trying to bring the truth to light. Keep doing what you're doing, you know, because this is very important, you know. So I would say that. But the story, like I said, and I've been trying to like figure it out, you know, and get a hold of it. But like, and another thing, I would say, hey, I'm not going to, you know, jump to a conclusion and say, oh, it was this, you know, it end up, you know, being, you know, like I said, some people are reporting, man, and doing some shady stuff, you know, just reporting anything, you know, and man, just stating things that are untrue, like straight up, you know what I'm saying, lies, you know, just to get likes, and that's not cool. I would not support that, and we're not advising, especially not advise anybody to take what they're saying as a truth, you know, because always, you know, you always have to get to the truth, and also some as well as be cautious, you know, and when you're trying to get to the truth. So I would say that, you know, instead of just assuming and just jumping to a conclusion, you know, and that's important, you know, especially these days, man, you know, with social media. But it's coming, the facts are being revealed. You know, Katie and Bart were high school sweethearts, had been sweethearts in the past. Bart went off to college, playing for Wyoming Cowboys as a punter. Is a prospect for the NFL. You know, actually ESPN has him, you know, highlighted. You know, he's basically in the spotlight as a ESPN prospect, possible NFL, you know, draft. You know, he was in. I know he was on ESPN's. They had him highlighted on their, you know, scout report or whatever. So he's a prospect for the NFL. You know, and then Nolan was too. Nolan was he was gonna do something. You know, he was about to do something. You know, in football. Very, you know, I think very extraordinary. But in that sense, you know, him going out to college playing for the Wyoming Cowboys, you know, so him and I guess Katie not at the relationship, because they're not like, you know how it is. You go off somewhere, man, your bond is not as close because you're somewhere else compared to when you're actually like there, right there in the city. It's different. It's just as what it is. It's different. So he go out to school, and I guess, you know, Nolan is you know, kind of coming in the picture, you know, doing his thing or whatever, and you know, she's sitting on his lap in the boat, which I'm gonna show. And I know he felt some type of way. So that's basically what it is. You know, them going back on the boat. I believe they may have gotten to it, might have did something to Nolan, you know, hit him with some, or, you know, beat him with something. You know, I don't know that part, but I do know, like I said, on that recording, when Jeanette Brantley broke those videos, like she said, she separated the audio from the background noise from the actual calling, you know, the caller, the call made to Cito and the dispatcher. She broke those apart. She separated the two. And so that audio, that background audio, has them saying, Bart, Oh man, Nolan, wake the F up. Bart, you killed him? And I was hearing that, but I was like who are they talking about? Is it Wyatt? Because they said Wyatt. So yeah, the whole story is coming to light. And I'm so glad. And then, like I said, the autopsy report, you know, it's gonna tell the whole, it's just gonna put it all together, you know, when that come back. Basically, the story's already, you know, from this point has been the story has been made, you know, the culprits of this incident have been pointed out, but the autopsy is just gonna seal it and really make the final conclusion and just bring it all together and like, okay, this is what happened. Here are your culprits in this. This is what happened to Nolan, you know, and just pretty much tie it all together. But anyway, I just want to make this video, man, and say that because like I said, this is breaking. Like I said, it came out today when a sister had reported. Willie did report on the sister. I think Tisha Tells. You know, she reported on it. You know, about the story, and then you know I did some digging. You know, find out the actual photos. You know, seeing that. You know, seeing that. You know, then about you know. His Bart, you know, pulling up information on him. Like I said, you know, his dad, he's actually, you know, he's a senior, you know, Bart Joseph Edmiston Sr., MD, you know, and he works for Memorial Hospital, I believe, in Mississippi. And that's where Nolan Wells' mother, as a nurse, I believe she works as well. Nurse or nurse assistant, I believe a nurse. Yeah, available, yeah. She worked, yeah, within the Memorial Health System. So, and Dr. Bart Edmiston Sr. is a physician with the Memorial Physician Clinics, which are a part of the same Memorial Health System network. So yeah, they are, you know, like I said, I don't know if they know each other or anything like that, but they do work at the same, like I said, in the same hospital network with Memorial Hospital, I guess that particular health system. But anyway, yeah, I want to report on this. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, bring this where it's coming out, and it's important. So like I said, thank y'all to all the man. We and everybody out there, man. Like for real, all the creators, man, the content creators, everybody, man, that's coming together on this thing. Say, man, realize that. Keep on putting in that work, man, because we do have the power to change things. You know what I'm saying? Whether you a big time content creator or got you a big platform, to the small guy like me. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm gonna get up out here. You know, I just want to get on here and say that. And you know, I'm just so thankful. Like this is coming to light, man. You know, and like something like I seen a post today, and I'll put that in here as well. You know, justice for Nolan Wells, Carmelo Anthony receiving justice as well, you know. So I would say that, man, you know, justice for Nolan and, you know, justice for Carmelo Anthony, you know, and him getting a new trial and everything, and him, you know, possibly being, you know, free or whatever, you know. But anyway, I'm gonna get up out here, man. I hope y'all out there doing well, living life full of love and happiness, you know, doing great, you know, strive for greatness every day. You know, I appreciate y'all liking, sharing, you know, my videos, you know, comment on my videos. Like I said before, you know, we can agree, we can disagree. Hey, man, we disagree, we can hash it out. I'm always be respectful towards y'all. Ask y'all to be respectful towards me. But anyway, y'all, to the next one, y'all. Love y'all. All right, y'all.
Fuck it, go ahead and blow off the dough. Step through the maze, man, and became amazing. About to rewrite history and change a page in a crooked book that never told us the true story. Like how we were kings and queens before the slave story, before the killing, stealing, and drug dealing on some real shit. We ran the world.